Recipe, we're going to make a delicious breakfast. And I'm starting by making a piece of toast. Then we need to take a cookie cutter, the same size as the base of a cupcake tray, and cut out a circle of toast. Then grease up the cupcake tray. I'm using some butter on some kitchen paper. And place in the toast. Next, fry off a few rations of streaky bacon. I'm cooking them until they're just starting to crisp. Then arrange them around the edge of the mould, like this. I used 1½ pieces of bacon. Then cut off a square of cheese, I'm using cheddar, and place it down in the middle. I'm doing the same with the other 5 moulds, so we've got a nice full tray. And when you've done this, we're ready to move on to the final stage. That's breaking in an egg. So give your egg a gentle tap, and crack it open into one of the cups. Unfortunately, the yolk on this one broke, but it doesn't really matter. Do the same with all the others. It's really satisfying. And you should now have something that looks like this. Pretty cool, huh? To cook them, I'm placing them in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, which is 360 degrees Fahrenheit, for 15 minutes. This should cook the egg through, but if you like a runny egg, try cooking them for a few minutes less. And when we take them out of the oven, they look and smell amazing. And they make a delicious, simple breakfast. I'm serving mine on a bed of spinach. Run a knife around the edge of the tray to stop it sticking, then lift it out onto the plate. And while it was cooking, I sliced up a few cherry tomatoes, which I'm dotting around the edge. Drizzle over a little olive oil, and there's our amazing bacon and egg muffin. When you cut into it, it holds together well, and it's a really fun and impressive breakfast. The flavours work together perfectly, and it's an easy enough dish to make, so I'll definitely be making this again. Now we've done breakfast, I'm going to make a light lunch out of a large tomato. Start by chopping the top off. Then, using a spoon, hollow out the middle. You may need to use a knife to help you. Tip out all the juice and seeds too, so we've got an empty tomato shell. Next, I'm taking a mushroom and chopping it up into nice small pieces. Then add a few into the bottom of the tomato. Next, I'm taking a sprig of fresh basil and putting that inside too. Then I'm adding some grated cheese. This is going to melt inside and add to the delicious flavours. And when we've got to this stage, it's ready to place into a baking tray. I'm making 3 altogether. And when they're safely sat on a tray, it's time to add in our eggs. So give one a tap, same as before, and crack it open into the tomato. It fills it up nicely. Then do the same with the other 2. You can see why we really do need to start with a big tomato to make these. And when you've done all 3, you can place them in the oven. I'm baking these for 25 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius, which is 360 degrees Fahrenheit. And they're looking great. These make a delicious light lunch, or you could have them as part of a main meal. I'm sprinkling over a little bit more grated cheese, which melts because it's still so hot. And I'm finishing it off with some chopped up basil. And it's ready to eat. You can see the beautiful cooked egg on top. And if we cut into it, you get a really amazing mix of flavours. It's a delicious thing. And you can let me know in the comments if there's any other ingredients you'd add in too. Now we've had lunch, I'm going to show you how to make an amazing upside down banana cake. And I'm going to be making it in this 10-inch frying pan, which is all metal, so I'm able to transfer it into the oven. I'm starting with this bunch of bananas, which I carefully selected because some are small with a nice bend, and some are quite a bit bigger. We need them to arrange inside our pan. Next, I'm chopping off the ends and cutting it in half like this. Then carefully pull the skin off so we've got something which looks like this. Next, I'm taking 30 grams of butter and melting it in the pan. Then I'm tipping in 40 grams of soft brown sugar. Stir it around so it absorbs all the butter, and spread it out across the bottom of the pan, leaving it on a low heat. Then we need to carefully add our bananas. I'm using 3 bananas altogether, and unfortunately this piece broke as I put it in, but it doesn't really matter. For the centre, I cut the last piece in half so it fits nicely in the middle. Then leave it on a nice low heat for 5 minutes so it gently caramelises. For the cake part, I added 200 grams of soft brown sugar into a bowl, then cracked in a large egg, and whisked it all together. Then I'm adding 200 grams of plain natural yoghurt, 100 grams of oil, and half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then give it all a good whisk together. Now I'm adding 200 grams of plain flour and a heaped teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm also adding a little bit of salt. Carefully whisk it all together until it's a nice consistency. And if you like, you can also add half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Once it's all mixed together, it should look like this. And we're ready for the next stage, which is to pour it over the pan of bananas. So carefully start pouring it in. And we want to get a decent covering all the way over. Spread it out a little if you need to. Then it's ready to place into the oven. I'm baking this at 180 degrees C or 360 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 to 35 minutes until it's nice and golden and cooked all the way through. I ran a knife around the edge to make sure it wasn't going to stick. Then I turned it out onto a plate. Lift off the pan. And there's our amazing upside-down banana cake. It looks and smells amazing, and you can see the caramelised bananas all the way around. I'm cutting a slice while it's still nice and hot. And I'm going to serve it with a scoop of ice cream. It melts quickly while it's sat on top. And it really does taste amazing. There's some delicious flavours going on, and I'll definitely be going back for more. It's really nice hot, or even cold. And if we take a closer look, you can really see the caramelised bananas across the top. You could try serving it up with custard. If you've enjoyed this video, you might like to take a look at some of my others. Have fun, stay safe, and as always, thanks for watching.